And welcome back to the Dropkick on YouTube. And we're going to do our new segment now. Storyline Scramble. Scramble. Don't mind him. With this, we're going to talk about some storylines that are going on in the world of wrestling today, and we're going to give you our take on them.
Well, the first storyline I want to take is the They storyline in TNA. And let me just tell you something right now. They storyline, you mean the NWO storyline from like 15 years ago? They did some stupid stuff. I don't know if you've seen it. I watched the videos of it or whatever. Basically, it turned Jeff Hardy, the eternal good guy, into a heel along with Jeff Jarrett, Abyss, Eric Bischoff, and Hogan. And it's like, then they had people throwing stuff into the ring. It's like, these were obviously plants. I don't care what anybody says. You want to tell me right now that conveniently 15 years ago the same thing happened in NWO in the same building in Daytona, in Florida. I just think it's stupid to have a 50-year-old guy who had to crutch his ass out to the ring.
Yeah, it is pretty bad that you have to crutch yourself out to the ring.
I mean, Jeff Jarrett is irrelevant at this point. I don't really care about him. I mean, it was a sad story with his wife, but it's like the They storyline is just, it's stupid. It's played out. It's old. Jeff Hardy's not believable as a heel. The only thing he's believable as is a drug dealer.
How harsh.
Well, it's the truth. 7 years he's facing. You know Matt Hardy's going to join They as soon as he comes in.
You think he's coming in?
Right, he's coming in.
He's coming in?
He's coming in.
Alright, well, I have one to address in TNA also. The storyline, you know, Robbie E. and Cookie. Come on, this is such a ripoff of Jersey Shore. Which, that's the gimmick. Jersey Shore gimmick. But the thing is, they're unbelievable as Jersey Shore characters. I have watched the show just to you know, get the gist of the stuff, and they're totally not Jersey Shore. They don't have the accent right. They don't have anything right. And Rob E. totally rip off of Paulie D, and Cookie totally rip off of Snooki. And the thing is, Cookie, yeah, they got a girl that looked similar to Snooki, but the thing is, because they got a smaller girl, Snooki's like a midget. And Robbie E, yeah, he does not act like Paulie D at all. So like,
yeah, as two guys who've actually met Robbie E, aka Rob Echoes, before, it doesn't work. They're just
it doesn't work. They brought him in as what was his gimmick before that?
The Platinum Papa.
Yeah, they brought him in as the Platinum Papa. That gimmick would have totally got over because he acted like he was a singer and all that. But as Robbie E, he's not going to get over. They had to cut his segment short because the crowd didn't even care. They was chanting, "You suck," and you really barely even heard it on the freaking camera. That's how bad it was. They had to cut his segment short because he wasn't getting over or getting over with the crowd type deal in a good guy or a bad guy fashion, which he's supposed to be a bad guy. He didn't get over at all. So
not at all.
They just need to get rid of the gimmick straight up and change back to the Platinum Papa or refigure him into something else, because that Jersey Shore character is not going to get over at all in TNA or any other companies like that now.
Exactly. Next, moving on to Nexus on Raw, and they're trying to add Michael McGillicuddy, aka Joe Henning, and Bo Rotundo, aka Husky Harris, into there to try to strengthen it up. I actually think they need to do it because they weakened Nexus because of Skip Sheffield being knocked out, and of course they took out Darren Young. They took him out. I think that's
don't forget Michael Tarver.
Oh, and Michael Tarver. I forgot about Tarver. Tarver, and with that weird little thing that he always used to wear. But I think they need to put him in there just because I think it makes Nexus look stronger because they kind of weakened him a little bit. Even with Cena being the kind of a little lackey, it kind of like, strengthens them up a little bit because they just got that look about them, like we're evil, we're going to come hurt you. And unless they turn Cena fully heel, I mean, Nexus is nothing right now. The one-man rock band's in there, and a guy who used to frost his tips, but it looks like he got the memo that he was gay and dyed all his hair.
Still looks gay.
Still looks gay. That's all I'm going to say about that gimmick is they have to put him in there. Harris and McGillicuddy will not get over without Nexus. They won't get over just because of the simple fact neither one of them is really that talented by themselves. I mean,
I don't even think they'll get over with Nexus. That's the problem.
I mean, I don't know what everyone's deal in Nexus is with not having a good finisher, but Husky Harris does a cannonball drop, and McGillicuddy does a swinging neck breaker. He calls it the McGillicutter. Now, that's a pretty cool name for a move, but it's like some 1985 call. They want the swinging neck breaker back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want to address a storyline right now that I personally really like. The Miz's storyline. You know, awesome. Which is exactly what his storyline is. Awesome. I don't know what's up with Alex Riley being with him. Maybe that's the way to get Alex Riley over, but I think Alex Riley could work over with himself. He has the ability to work over by himself without having the Miz. I think the Miz is just holding Alex Riley back right now.
Cause it's kind of giving him like that Lance Cade feel. Like, remember when Lance Cade was with Chris Jericho a couple years ago?
Yeah.
You didn't know what his point was?
Yeah, because it's just going to all of a sudden they're going to have to repackage Alex Riley back down to SCW and ruin all the work they have to get him up to the level of WWE already. He could be a great mid-carder and maybe a high carder, like, you know, heavyweight championship caliber thing down the line. Right now he'll be perfect in the mid-card level, but all he does is come out with a Miz, sits there,
and gets beat up, like on a daily basis.
Yeah, and gets beat up or tries to help Miz win the match, which, okay, all well and good, but still, Alex Riley can work by himself. The Miz doesn't need him to get over. Miz is already over. Miz is like almost a freaking face when he's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah, it was good. The fans like his catchphrase and everything.
Yeah, I know. So, the Miz gets over. I love the Miz. I really love the Miz gimmick right now, you know, him being the leader of Raw for bragging rights and stuff like that. I'm really loving it. So, the Miz, awesome. That's all I can say.
And I also just want to, this is not even going to take long at all, the train wreck that is the Paul Bearer, Undertaker, Kane storyline. We were there watching it on pay-per-view when Paul Bearer turned on the Undertaker with a little light in the urn and blinded him.
You mean flashlight?
Whatever it was. Flashlight, little Duracell pop in there, whatever. The fact of the matter is, this was done, I don't know, 2 or 3 times already, and at this point in their careers, Undertaker is obviously gimping around, limping around, looking like an old man, and Kane is clearly out of shape. I mean, it's cool to see Paul Bearer back for one last little run, but I really don't see it. It's a train wreck. I think
it would have been sort of better if he just stayed with the Undertaker the whole time.
Well, that exactly, because everyone was predicting he'd probably do it, but that's why Vince McMahon doesn't want Kane and the Undertaker to face at WrestleMania, because the crowd is not reacting at all to the Kane versus the Undertaker because it's boring. They can't do anything.
Yeah, Kane and Undertaker, they have the same moveset, and it just gets boring after a while. Yeah, they work well with other people, but against each other they don't work well because it's just a classic big guy versus big guy match, and big guy versus big guy is not getting over anymore.
No, it doesn't really at all because there's nothing there. I mean, there's only so long cool entrances can take you.
And I want to adjust. This is a building storyline. It's probably going to build even more, but I'd rather talk about it right now. The Swagger Edge storyline.
Yeah. All American.
It's 3 now.
It's 3, yeah.
Which I don't get either way, but yeah, Edge going to SmackDown. I can see why he had to go to SmackDown because his Raw thing was over and they had to strengthen up SmackDown. But feuding him with Swagger, are they turning Edge back to good guy? I thought that didn't work and they had to change back to bad guy. Well, they tried to change it. I guess bad guy wasn't working for him. Now he's changed back to good guy. What the hell is he anymore? But I can see them helping. This is going to help build up Swagger big time, because they pushed him as a high carder, then went to mid carder, and then he just got lost in the scramble sometime. Now they got Edge back in there. They got Swagger back against Edge, and that's the way I was going to go on for a couple months. It's a pretty good storyline, if I had to say so myself.
Yeah, it's even going to be how it plays out in bragging rights around the same team, kind of jostling back and forth. Like on Raw, he threw the ankle lock on Edge and.
Yeah, so this could come into the thing with bragging rights where something happens and they cost their team the match or something. I can see it happening right now. It's a classic bragging rights type storyline.
Which, you know, we can't really comment much more on that just because it hasn't fully developed yet, so it's not a full storyline. It's still ongoing.